Yo, you're now listening to the SMFH podcast. That's SMFH, sports, music, fashion, and happenings. I'm your host, Stevie J. And of course, with me as always, my lovely co-host, Shan. What up, girl?
Hi, guys.
Shan in the building, and my guy, Wood, to the left.
Hello.
He's short today. But no, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest on today's episode. Again, this is the SMFH podcast, and this is episode 3 of season 2. On today's episode, we actually have with us Mr. Randy Wilson. For those of y'all that do not know Mr. Randy Wilson, Randy Wilson is also the host of his own podcast, and it's his name, the Randy Wilson Podcast. And Randy Wilson, with this podcast, he actually speaks with many unique individuals to dig into the provocative and powerful ideas of our time. And through leadership, they believe that they can lead people up, in, and over just as easily as we can lead people down, out, and under. It is the goal of his podcast to provide an example in leading people through dialogue about real life things. I'm not going to read the entire descriptor there, but that's why we have Randy here with us to talk about that on the podcast today. So ladies and gentlemen, Randy Wilson.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely an honor to be on another podcast
Hey.
and learn from other people's experiences.
Hey, we got to come together.
Yes, sir.
We got to come together, man. So no, we appreciate you coming on today's episode, bro. And today's episode, again, we got a few topics that we want to cover.
Yeah.
But again, we want to talk to you too.
Definitely.
We got a few questions we want to throw out to you, and questions that we know some of our listeners want to hear answers to.
Cool.
You know, as far as all of us, being in this same game as far as starting podcasts, getting off the ground, getting that podcast going,
yes,
trying to be successful. We're all working towards the same goal. So how can we, potentially work together and make each other better in the process?
Sure,
so appreciate you again.
Before we get started,
please.
one day can me and Shan get an introduction like that?
Right.
One day, all we get Shan.
Hey. Well, the people,
co-host.
the people know who y'all are, man.
But
like,
still.
all right. Well, look, y'all do this.
Okay.
Give me your bios. Send me some bios, because y'all have never
right.
sent me a bio. So, as a matter of fact, episode 4, I'm gonna properly introduce Shan and Wood.
Oh, I'm a
Okay.
fly.
I want bios. Send me your
fine.
bios, and Stevie J is gonna introduce you properly.
I ran for
How's
mayor
that?
in 1998. I'm fucking it up.
All right, so episode 4, we introducing both of y'all. But no, the man of the hour, Randy Wilson. Randy, I guess, man, we can hop right into it, bro. I mean, obviously the Randy Wilson podcast, you got some heavy traction going right now with your podcast. And I know we were talking earlier about some changes that you made with regards to your approach.
Mm-hmm.
Started off more as like a political podcast and having those types of conversations. And you made a hard pivot to which I love personally with hip hop, and specifically Virginia hip hop.
Yeah.
So first question for you, brother. What made you pivot?
I don't know. I don't completely see it as a pivot. I mean, it is some pivoting occurring for sure, but like, to me, it's not so much about hip hop. It's really about the person. The reason why you see so much hip hop on my podcast is just because the individuals that I'm identifying have presence. So I approach every podcast based off the person. I don't come in with an agenda. I base it all around the person.
Yep.
And I'm trying to show, particularly as it pertains to hip hop, that the individuals have more to offer than just music. They're men, they're fathers, they're entrepreneurs. They do a lot of other things. So, I did go on a series where I was, doing some different things with Dr. Jana. And we were focusing on like the Bill Martins and the Christy Colemans. And, I was basically trying to show people that address diversity issues. And, I have a background in behavioral health, mental health. I talk to the most complicated, psychotic people in the world. So I'm showing, my goal is to brand myself as a conversationist, that I can talk to the G. Sambos.
Yep.
I can talk to the Bill Martins. And I'm trying to show that we can have all kind of conversation other than just talking about music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's real dope. So with your podcast, how long have you been doing it? What made you jump into it? How'd you get started, all that?
Yeah, so this past Saturday made a year.
Congrats.
Nice.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I started the podcast, as we talked about it kind of before recording. I started the podcast for an outlet. Like I sit in the basement and I'm like a YouTube nerd. Like I sit and watch. Like my background's in mental health, behavioral health, so I've done a lot of counseling, and I watch podcasts for different reasons. I'm not just listening to the content. I'm looking at the approach, the style, just like how you all set up today. I'm watching. Like I'm a sponge for like looking and seeing how they do things. And so when I watch all these people doing podcasts on YouTube, I'm like, and this is what we've been doing in the basement our whole life.
Right. Just talking.
And once I recognized that all you got to do is put the camera in front of you. It's like when we was kids, things that we saw on TV seemed so far away. And now I feel like millennials have taught us that if we put the camera in front of us, you can portray to someone else what you thought as a kid was so far away, and now you can make it a reality.
Yeah, right.
So I just said, I'm going to start creating my own reality, and next might be the reality show. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. But it's fun,
tell us
man.
about your first episode. How did it go?
First episode, comedian Micah Bam Bam White.
Oh, wow.
It went good.
See, we got a lot of synergies, too.
Yeah, because we interviewed a lot of them guests. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think past that, though, I don't know you overly well, but what I do know, based off people that I know that know you better than me, and just the time that I've spent with you, is that you're a boss. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I approach how I identify and bring in guests based off skill set, expertise, ability to communicate, or ability to have impact and influence.
Right.
No, I am not interviewing just anybody.
Right.
And if anything, I'm learning how to manage my inbox and DM on that, because a lot of people are like, well, what's the process? How come your podcast? And you can win me over, but at the end of the day, I'm small budget, small business, like production costs. I can't do everything.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like I'm at. Also, though, with a bridge, it's like I don't want to take away from the standard that I'm trying to create. But, with a sponsorship or a dollar, maybe we can negotiate a way that I can give you a platform. That's where it's at now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't need see, I'm into the long podcast. A lot of people don't need that. Some people can't talk that long. They don't have that much to say.
Right.
So for some people, I'm thinking about coordinating like a Vlad type situation.
Like
10, 15
TV,
minutes,
okay.
that with me not on the camera. Because if I feel like I put myself on the camera, I'm giving too much. So I'm thinking about other ways to kind of diversify and still create more content versus putting so much time and money into like an hour show.
Yeah. Genius. That's genius.
Yeah, because if you break it down, you might be able to stretch.
I might be able to get four in an hour. I mean, I still want to brand myself at doing the long conversations because I want to show my audience that I can get more depth out of people than maybe a previous interview. That's my goal. Yeah. But I might do some other things. Like I'm going into studios now. So artists is doing their thing, they're recording or whatever, right? I'll go in and get like 6-7 minutes of the production stuff, do a 3-minute, 4-minute interview. 10 minutes. Okay. Because I do hour shows, and based off my stats, people typically watch 30 minutes.
Yeah. They
don't watch the whole thing. They may come back.
They'll come back later.
So if I do some things like that, I think it'll diversify and give people a reason to go back. Let me go back and see what that other 30 minutes was about. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
we've seen some of the similar trends with ours. Like, we have, we started off, of course, we were like, we're going to do 30, 45 minutes. And then, we're like a few episodes in now, and like most of our episodes go over an hour.
Yeah, but it's hard though. When you're having a good conversation, it's hard to just cut it off. Yeah.
Right. But that's also because like we share the engagement. We enjoy in the process. And it's like, you can't let anybody rob that from you. Like, I understand that the audience may only have the attention span for whatever they have, but they also have the choice to come back later and pick it up. Or there's someone that's just like you.
Yeah.
And the people who are successful in the game, they done did like 100 episodes before they really got popular. So we'll figure out what's meant for us. I think doing this, because I'm definitely welcoming you all to my show as well. Okay. Doing this is what is going to continue to build value in podcasting when podcasters come together, because we're still technically in the infant stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is still very much like the beginning of it, because you're now seeing the collaboration of like podcast, internet radio.
Yep. That's a new thing.
So it's like we're so early in it right now that we're really allowed to do whatever we want to do and make our own mistakes, because we on the front wave of it.
Right. So you talked about hip hop. So So what like main art? Well, what artists have you interviewed and talked to and who stood out for you?
So like I'm a head, I'm a hip hop head. Like I can't I consider my podcast Culture Society, but I can't avoid focusing on hip hop culture because that's what I'm from.
Right.
So and it's like coming from the mental health world and being involved in that space all day, like I got to get out of it.
Yeah.
So
gotta have a release somewhere.
Yeah, let's see. I've had
who's had an impact on you?
On as far as my guests?
Yeah.
Young Money On was a really good interview.
Shout out Young Money On.
Yeah, Young Money On was a good interview because
757 stand up.
He's it's, you know what, like even a couple of days ago, like when he referred in the interview to like how he came up and his father really wasn't in his life. See, I've worked in politics and I've done lobbying. I didn't realize until like last week, honestly, that his father was Kenneth Anderson, what's the mayor of Norfolk? I forget his name. Kenny Alexander.
Wait, Young Money On's father is the mayor of Norfolk?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh damn.
Wow. Each one teach one.
Gems.
I didn't know that.
Because I didn't know. I mean, like, and there's a story behind it, and I ain't gonna do it, but it's like, he's brilliant, man. He's brilliant. He is so intelligent. Like, so intelligent that to this day, I have to go back now and listen to it.
Right.
So that was a dope interview. Nicholas F. was a dope interview because, like, he just thinks inside out.
Right.
And it's crazy. G Sambo was an interesting interview. That was a stretch.
Yes.
That was a different that was different for me a
Why
little
do you
bit.
say that?
Just because, he's younger. And I did that because I know that he has a demographic that I need to reach, that I need to connect. And I thought it was a good conversation. Kari 1K, who's on the rise to kill it. He was those are different interviews for me just because they're younger.
Right.
But I feel like we as a little bit older, we have to bridge those gaps. That's why Jadakiss and Fab are so relevant because they never allowed age to get in the middle of them. So like those interviews, trying to think who else. Young Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Young Crazy's killing it. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you this: an interview that is good that I would encourage people to go see, but people ain't really recognizing it right now is Keno Beats.
Oh, really?
Do you know who Keno Beats is?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
So like he's he's on the verge of being a mega producer. Like Lex Luger, we recorded it in Timbaland Studio.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, people ain't really recognizing like.
Exactly
we was in the same studio that Black Album was put together. Justin Timberlake's albums were put together. This is,
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm telling you that should do more than what it's doing is because if you go to China or Europe, they listen to music. They don't listen to lyrics. And his production is that level. You know what I'm saying? He got like millions of streams.
Yeah.
Like I can't even tell you how many millions of streams. Over 50 million of
So
streams.
he's got an overseas following.
Oh, ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
They listen to music. We listen to words or we follow beats. So, like, that's an interview that I'm hopeful that's going to pick. Once he goes back on tour, like, that'll probably pick up some
Yeah, that's almost like electronic music, though. You don't really hear any words on it, but, you boom,
just beats.
boom,
That's it, like a techno.
Yeah.
Keno's that guy, man.
Now, with that being said, you do a lot of stuff for the hip hop world, especially here in the city. What do you think? Because I really feel like our city gets overlooked because we have so much talent here.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do we need, and what do we need to do in order for the city to blow up like Atlanta, New York City, even DC got a little buzz.
Yeah.
Houston. What is it that we either as people here, I know the support here is so cliquish.
Yeah.
What is it that we need to do in order to put our city on the map? Because it just we just can't put it all on the artists. We have to do something here ourselves because we're the ones who live here.
That's right.
So, like, as you say that, and I think it as well.
Okay.
But what I will say is that first, what we got to do is we have to look further, because and I respect the question, but it's kind of it's a surface situation. And what I mean by that is that we're so used to not being identified and not being seen that we don't realize. I'm telling you now, we don't realize how much attention people are paying to us.
Okay.
Forbes did an article recently on the underground hip hop scene in Richmond was identified. I don't know if you're familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that the reason why I know that there is more attention being paid against, more attention is being put on us than what we may perceive. It's just because I've had some key industry people bring that to my attention. Okay. And so I think the thing that we can't lose is hope. Okay. I will say this. There's certain artists in our Richmond community who we look at as like the upper echelon of artists, like within the local community. Mm-hmm. And those are not the artists that are going to put us on that map. It's these young trap guys that's like doing that street music. Yeah. It's the G Sambos. Like G Sambo is like, if you pay attention to his social media, like, and I be trolling as an old person a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you pay attention to his social media, or if you pay attention to Young Crazy a little bit, just like Gucci's paying attention to Richmond. Okay. Real talk. Because if you go look at a few of them posts and see the addresses and where they at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go see where, so it's like, I believe that they're paying a lot more attention to us than we know. And I had a personal experience where I was, in some of the interviews I've done and knowing how things moved in and around the water, something in the water has been created in itself to bring more attention to Virginia. Right. Pusha creating the Hair Music Group is obviously bringing more attention. And for me to get a personal invitation to their events tells me that, hell, you know me. Right. Just because I'm talking to the artist. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, they know more than me. They know way more people than we know. I mean, you saw, Noah O's been on Sway in the Morning 3 times. DJ Mentos has been on Sway in the Morning. Like, they're paying attention. Yeah, of course. They're paying attention. Of course. So I just think we got to put our glasses on and make sure that we're looking further in, because we so caught up in the trauma of not ever being paid attention to that we may be missing it.
Either that or the ones that already is in the game, we still waiting for them to pull us up out the pond. Yeah. And that ain't. Yeah, it's been going on for years.
Right.
Hey,
not gonna happen. I'm here. Not gonna happen. Right. Yeah. No. It's funny, y'all. You're talking about just those different artists. One of the topics we wanted to talk about today too was Megan Thee Stallion's contract situation. So Megan Thee Stallion, obviously most people know who she is by now. She's one of the hottest female rappers in the game, but Megan Thee Stallion is going through a bit of a situation right now with her own record label, 1501, which is founded by a former Major League Baseball player called Crawford. So based out of Houston, Texas. And did y'all know Megan? Did y'all know her real name is Megan Pete? Mm-hmm. I found that out, so I just thought that was pretty. I was like, oh, that was a pretty plain name. I was looking for something else.
Her last name was Stallion.
But no, Megan P. But no, so she, she sued the record label last week, and that whole thing sort of comes. We were talking about this before we started recording too. Just comes from that whole first contract situation. Mm-hmm. 1501 did all the legwork. They took the risk on her at first, and they put together a contract. That most artists end up signing for that first contract. And it wasn't a good contract, compared to the amount of money that she can be making. Right. Some of the details of the deal, she's only entitled to 40% of her recording profits, which is actually lower than the routine industry contract. The routine industry is a 50-50 split. Mm-hmm. So she's getting 40, so that means 1501 is getting 60. But the kicker is that 1501, 60% is all profit. Mm. Her 40%, she then has to take that and pay all of her staff, all the production, all her features, all
so
her
she's with $15.
Right? Yeah. So I guess the first crack in that armor sort of happened when she signed with Roc Nation too, because the moment Roc Nation took over as management representing her, you knew something was gonna happen. But she went online a week ago and had a long conversation with her fans about her contract situation. Mm-hmm. Since Carl Crawford has responded and said, hey, let's look at some of these other artists who have signed some of these big record labels who have signed artists to deals. What did their first contracts look like? He specifically named Jay-Z in that. So that was sort of like a touche moment, because those first deals aren't really that. And the contract that she signed is a 360 deal, which has come to be a bad word in the music industry. You sign a 360 deal, you're essentially signing a deal with the devil. So now she's trying to figure out a way to get herself out of that situation. But Carl Crawford has sort of aligned himself now with Jay Prince, who was heavy in the music game.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Prince made things happen.
Heavy in the streets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about that, that's been going on for years. I remember Future had a bad deal. The Locks had a bad deal. A lot of artists had bad deals with Diddy. So I mean, that's nothing new.
Exactly.
It makes me wonder if, because this is, I'm not a fan of Megan Thee Stallion necessarily. Okay, so it makes me feel like they probably wasn't either. They just like, we're gonna give you the deal that we want to give. We're gonna give you the deal that we want to give you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you smart or dumb enough to take it, whichever way you look at it, this is what it is.
But I mean, if you think about it, these people, they're coming off the streets. Whatever deal that they're taking, they're making more than what they're getting at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
So I mean, who's smart enough to read through all that paperwork?
Nobody. That's why they signed it.
They just see the dollar signs. I mean,
she was 20 years old when she signed.
Yeah,
and now she's 25.
Too, that was her mom alive when she signed that deal, because her mom recently passed away, but her mom was like her manager.
Right.
So I wonder, and her mom was also a Houston rapper. So I wonder if her mom was alive or wasn't alive, because I'm pretty sure if her mom was alive, I don't think all of this would be going on.
But think about it, bro. If someone came in this room right now, offered us a 360 deal, you wouldn't take it.
Shit, I'm taking it right now. Sign it. Where the papers?
He's gonna be all
Where the
over
papers
social
at?
media.
Man, this deal horrible, man. They set us up.
With the lump in
Free
his
us.
I say that to say this because if her mom was, basically a Houston-based rapper, and maybe her mom didn't take on deals because of that. So that's why I'm saying I wonder if her mom was alive, because her mama didn't, her mom never made mainstream other than Houston, probably like Louisiana, down there. So I wonder if her mom didn't make
What's
it.
her mom's name?
I'm not sure.
Her mom's an artist too?
She was a Houston rapper down there.
But she sounded like she was signed to Master P or something.
Yeah.
I was about to say, her mom on that tour.
Right. But I wonder, if her mom, if that's maybe why her mom didn't make it as big as what they say she was down in Houston.
Right.
So she could have had some type of, insight on the contract and
just a little bit more detail with the contract. So what she has is a 60-40 recording royalty split. So that's what I was mentioning as far as 1501 getting that huge 60%, she only getting the 40. But then the touring income split, so that's what most artists make their money from touring. It's a 70-30 split.
Man.
So she only getting 30% of touring money.
Ain't no way.
And 1501 getting 70.
Ain't no
which
way.
typical contracts, that's actually reversed.
But
for
why
the
you
artist.
knocking her? You would take that deal though.
No, I'm not knocking. I'm reading. I haven't said one bad word about it. I'm reading the facts of the deal. That's all I'm doing. I haven't taken a side.
These people away from the 360.
No. Look, if you get a 360 deal, sign it. I'm not talking. No. I'm reading the facts for it.
Maybe she just now have to just deal with it.
She has to.
I mean,
I don't know if she's gonna be able to get out of it. I mean, not with Jay Prince involved. You ain't getting out of it.
Hell no.
She said she's 25.
She's 25 now. She signed when she was 20.
Well, the one thing I will tell you that I've learned through podcasting is this: these artists don't have artists are creative people,
right?
And the smart ones over time learn that they need management. And I don't know what her management I don't know what her management situation is.
When she first came in.
Sounds like it's a lack of though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so having someone in your corner who can kind of coach and guide you on behalf of how to answer questions, how to make decisions, that they limited with that. Particularly when they come from environments like we come from a lot of times.
Yeah,
you know
like she came from. Yeah, because she came from the ground.
The mud.
Right.
And so
there's a lot of them. All of them like that.
I would be very humble and just go, look, whatever. I'd make my next one best.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She got 15, 20 years in the pop potential ahead of her.
Yeah.
She's not going to be in that deal forever.
Well, see, to your point, Randy, she, you were talking about that management guidance coming out of the gate. She probably didn't have that, but now she signed with Rock Nation, so she has it now. So they probably fine tooth comb and went and looked at that contract and was like, wait, hold up, this is awful. Like this is terrible. We got to figure out a way to get. So now it's public. So we'll see what happens, but. Like I said, you got Carl Crawford, who's pretty heavy down in Houston now, along with Rap-A-Lot CEO Jay Prince, in the mix. And I don't know if she's gonna be able to get out of that. I don't know how many more years she had. I think it was like 2 or 3 with this particular contract. So, like you said, she might just have to play this one out.
Jay Prince and Hov right now saying how you should look like, look, you're stupid, okay? But you gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Right. Hov is like,
Yeah, Hov like, come
Pretty
on,
much.
dog.
Right, I'll make my money in 2025.
Yeah,
Right,
pretty much.
right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I mean, she's right now. It's in, it's obviously in litigation, and it's gonna be, huge, huge court case, specifically on social media. Because everybody's gonna want to know the details of that. But yeah, I was just putting it out there because last week that was one of the big things people were talking about was her contract, and when she went on her Instagram live and gave the whole rundown, like things sort of escalated from there.
Do y'all like her? I'm curious. Are y'all fans?
She's okay. I mean,
yeah, she's okay. I mean, she's the newest, hottest female rapper.
What would you compare her to though, from like the modern day of hip hop? Can you compare
Modern
her to
day?
anybody?
I would have to go. I would say modern. No, I would say modern day. I don't know if there's a comparison, but past, I would actually say she is a modern day Mia X. Modern day Mia X.
That's what I was
modern day Mia X.
Is Mia X No Limit or something like that?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking of Mama was when you talking about.
No.
That's the first. The No Limit was in DC the other night, and I saw they had Mia X.
Yeah, the No Limit reunion tour.
I was thinking anyway.
might be a auntie, third cousin or something.
They related.
I don't think she's
I
great,
think
though.
she reminds me of a modern Eve and
Eve?
No.
She got bars?
Oh,
No,
stop.
she
She
don't
don't
have
have bars
bars.
like that.
and Foxy.
She has no bars, though.
Shan,
Not
bars.
her freestyles. Y'all like her freestyles?
I've never heard them.
No, I've
I just
I've
hear
heard
what's
a
on the
couple of
radio.
them
I mean,
on Breakfast Club. I've heard one of
But I'm not a
them.
fan, so I just hear what's
you
on.
wouldn't listen
Yeah, I
to
just
her
hear
freestyle.
like
She can
the
really rap.
mainstream stuff.
No, she can really rap. So that's why I say Eve, and then that sexy sexual part would be that Foxy Love Count.
Eve is sexier than Foxy and okay.
Yeah, no, I was just saying lyrically
I don't
wise.
think
Oh,
Foxy
lyrically,
was
yeah.
ever sexy
Yeah.
like that.
I'm talking about lyrics.
No, she's talking about lyrics. She's talking about
I was
lyrics.
just-
She was using the
just
word
talking
sexy
about
for the
picking
I'm
lyrics.
just saying, like, I'm really about my bars. I'm not on. I can't tell you no song of Megan Thee Stallion. I really can't. I know who she is, but I can't tell you
Okay,
because
so-
I haven't heard nothing to make me be like, yo.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you something crazy though. I'm gonna tell you something super crazy. All right.
What's up?
I was having some conversation with my friends the other day, and I was like, I really rock a little. What's her name?
Young
Young
M.A.
M.A.
Young. I really rock.
Yeah.
Like I rock with Young M.A. on the part like.
She made me feel uncomfortable.
And I still find her sexy. I
She'll
don't
whoop
care.
your ass.
They were like, man, how you like?
Comfortable,
She's still
man.
sexy to me though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
she's still a
yeah, I like her, but yeah, I mean,
She can rap.
Yeah.
though.
No, she got bars.
Like,
Young M.A.
so,
Young
like,
M.A. spits.
That's what I'm thinking. Like when you say,
Eve.
what's her name? We were talking about Megan Thee Stallion. She can rap. Can she rap like Young M.A. though? Like
No.
Young
Those
M.A.
are two
can.
different
Young M.A. can rap
Yeah.
better than most guys.
Oh yeah.
She's
Oh
killing.
wait,
it.
so I'm glad you brought Young M.A. up. What's the deal with her, yo? Cause like, she had the song 2 summers ago now that was hot, took over everywhere, and like really haven't heard anything
She
from
might
her
got a-
since. She got a 360 deal?
yeah,
Like
she
what?
got 360. She got a 180 deal.
What's going on? She got a 180. Like what's going on with Young M.A.? I like
Hers 3 in the making. Yeah, that just came out.
the new album that just dropped.
You gotta
Okay.
you gotta go on. Like, you gotta spend time on World Star and YouTube
Yeah.
with her.
Okay.
So since we're talking about female artists,
Yeah.
Randy, so who is your female artist of all time?
Best
Best.
female artist of all time.
Great question.
Who's your best?
I would say like. I feel like I have to say Lauryn Hill, and I'm not, and that
Yeah, she could
just
spit.
because,
She
and it ain't,
could
and it ain't
spit.
so much because of what she did.
She's
It's just
talented.
the fact that she gave us the opportunity to show us what she could do.
Yeah.
So I believe that because she gave us a little bit, that's all I needed. Like I think she's probably my favorite. But I really do like Eve though.
Yeah, no,
I really
Eve
like
had
Eve.
bars,
I like
too. She
Eve
rap
better.
Philly
I like
rap.
Eve better than Foxy and Lil Kim. I found Eve to be just, I don't know, like not only can she rap, but I feel like she has appeal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's totally crossed over now, though. Have y'all seen
Yeah.
Eve recently?
Yeah.
Like, Eve done left all that behind. You wouldn't even know she was a rapper, no. Like, you see her now, she got a billionaire husband or,
Yeah.
fiance, whatever they are, but
They married.
she out there living the life. Like,
She like
yeah.
hell with this 360
Right.
deal.
She like, I don't need no deal. I don't need no music.
She looks ageless, man. She don't
She
look like
does,
she's aged
yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah, very.
Yeah,
so,
she looks good.
So Lauryn Hill, let me see. If I had to say my favorite female rapper of all time, that's tough. I mean, because I'm like to, I'm like, what do your bars sound like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's spitting? I'm gonna have to go just in my. So I'm going off my own experience and what I've listened to. I'm gonna have to go Lil' Kim, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kim's got to be
I'm
in the
gonna have to go Lil'
conversation.
Kim for me.
She got to be in the conversation.
Yeah. Because Kim could spit. I know she caught a lot of flack because obviously she came up with Big, and everybody was like, well, Big's writing the raps, blah, blah, blah. No, he wasn't.
There would be a Nicki Minaj if it wasn't Kim.
She was influenced by Big with the way she spit, you know, her cadence, you know, the way she put her bars together. Obviously, the influence was there, but he wasn't actually writing her rhymes. Like, she was writing her own stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, Kim, like, just her body of work, you know, and I know now she, you know, we can barely recognize Kim now for what she used to look like. But no, I mean, you know, like, as far as like just body of work and the albums that she had and the impact she had on the culture, and the fact that now these new artists, these new female artists are coming out and still trying to emulate her.
Yeah.
Like, I got Lil' Kim #1 on my list.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane? What you got?
I want Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim? You Lil' Kim
Kim,
too?
yeah.
Okay.
What you got?
Woodrow?
I like Foxy too. She wasn't the best looking, but
Why you keep harping on that, man? Why you keep harping on Foxy looks, man?
I'm just saying, because that's the only reason why Megan. That's the only reason why she popular, because you know she look good. She has a body on her.
Well, yeah, I mean
That's one of the main reasons why she's in the industry
the
right now.
stallion. The stallion.
Yeah, if she didn't have that, I mean, I don't think she would be where she is now.
It plays a part.
Yeah, of course it does.
It plays too much of a part.
Yeah, that's
It
what
does
I-
because
it
I mean, like the type of guy that I am, like I believe that more than a handful, more than a mouthful is a waste. Like, just because a woman is like voluptuous in all these areas, to me, that doesn't. It's not everything. Like,
Right.
some people got too much booty. Some people got too much chest. You know what I'm saying? More than you can, you know, embrace. And I'm not.
What they gonna do when they get older?
So like, that's the one thing I don't like. That's the one thing I don't like. And same thing with men though. Like, men walk around with more shoulders than neck. Like, if you ain't playing football, bro, what you doing with that? Like, you ain't look good in your clothes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's black people, to be straight up about it. Like, we put a lot of emphasis into a lot.
We do.
Versus, let me just share this with you, all right?
Yes.
Strip club, right?
Speak, brother.
Preach.
Brothers that go to strip club, they'll throw like a bunch of money out just because they're trying to show a lot. They're trying to do a lot. They're trying to do the most for the most. And it's the chick that's doing the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
White people go to the strip club, they'll examine and then drop $1.
That's true. That's
And they
true.
walking away with money in their
I've been to
pocket.
both.
Well,
I've been to both.
and they got money.
I've
And
been
they
to both.
got
You're
money.
right.
They keeping their money. They just, let me see that. Okay.
That's very true.
Dollar.
No, you brought. I like that because I've been to white strip clubs in my day. I've been to black strip clubs in my day, and like you said, you go to a black strip club, it's making it rain. Everybody just throwing all their money. When they leave, ain't nobody got no money leaving the club. You go to a white strip club, you're right.
Even if
like
the
they
white
are
people come
sitting
to the
there
white strip club, they do the
examining
same
every
thing.
single girl up on that stage. They gonna give her $1 and make her work for that $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get your money's worth, and he might leave. He might have spent $40, but he ain't dropping $4,000 in there. You know, like, he not just.
And then they'll draw their business card.
Right.
Call me.
Right.
You want some
On
real
that
money?
sugar
Call me.
daddy.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it myself. I went to Atlanta for work one time, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to Magic City. This was on a Thursday.
Oh, just on the whim.
Yeah, just on the whim. I
Okay.
just went to Magic City. So, I mean, it's kind of like a tourist spot now. So we have black folks in there, Chinese. Yeah, just all types. But like you said, you know, white folks in there, they're just real reserved. You know, they're standing up. You know, all the black folks got tables and bottles coming everywhere. You know, they're standing with their drink, just being real reserved.
Selective.
Too much, man. We
Selective
doing too
with
much
it.
sometimes.
You got to earn my dollar.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that back. It's like, I just feel like if we keep it on the music, and then I'm hearing that like you're about your bars. Like, I ain't heard. There's nothing. I've not heard anything that made me be like Megan Thee Stallion. It's like I haven't heard
Me
that.
neither.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Well,
But because she's
Right.
heard something, I
Right.
respect that because I feel like we hear differently sometimes.
Yeah.
And like whatever she's saying that she as a woman can identify with, lyrically saying whatever, you gotta pay attention to that just like you gotta pay attention to the young people.
Facts.
Because when we listen to our women, then we know what they like. Or when we listen to these young kids, you know, we know what they like. And we need to we gotta listen.
Right.
I'm gonna go home. Listen, if nothing else, I'm gonna go listen to Megan Thee Stallion on the way back tonight.
Get up on us, yeah.
I mean, it's good party music, but I mean, if you listen to, you're not gonna get any bars.
Yeah, I mean, she's a female rapper. She for the females.
Don't knock the females. They go, Young M.A. can rap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know she can. I listen to her.
Can you rap?
No. Hey.
She can rap hair. She ain't got hair rapping bars.
That's it.
Hair rapping bars for days.
They be rapping in the salon. They do it because y'all are like counselors. Y'all be having conversation on everything. That's why y'all know everything.
Yeah.
Barbers too. They know everything.
Oh, yeah.
Know everything.
Talk about everything.
Yeah.
They need to put some microphones in there and just
right
there.
Why have I not seen a barbershop podcast?
Hey,
Like that, like
that's where we need to set up.
Yeah, just in a barbershop.
Yeah.
I talked about something. I ain't gonna. But I talked
Yeah,
about Son's
it's
barber
nothing
about
on
it.
his hat. It's nothing on his hat.
I talked about Son's barber about that. I was like, it would be great because y'all got the most conversation. You can't look. I ain't got no hair. You know what I'm saying? You can't go in a barbershop and crack jokes or have conversation without being prepared to.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Take it.
Yeah, you gotta take it.
It's
Somebody
hard.
gonna throw something at you.
Yeah, it's hard. So that'd be a great place for a live podcast.
Yeah. Like, why is there not a man? We should start. Like, can we come to the spot?
Yeah,
Love your hair
I
salon.
will ask Enrique
Right, and just set up.
Trina.
Yeah, because I mean, just getting conversations, people coming in. Like, we can make that a whole event. Have Randy pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when while you asking them, like, can we do a dual show? Because
Yeah,
I'd be
exactly.
one too. Like,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go in there tomorrow. I go tomorrow. So yeah.
There we go.
I see.
Yeah, let's get that off the ground because I already took a note from something Randy was saying earlier. So what struck me, you made the comment as far as like just podcasts, especially in our area, coming together and trying to make each other blow. I mean, that's how it's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no podcast group in Richmond right now, as far as like a group.
Mm-hmm.
There is one in DC. They have a whole podcast garage. It's a podcasting community up in Washington, D.C. area. But in Richmond, why don't we be the ones to get it off the ground?
There is one.
There's a podcasting group. There is one?
It's a group me group.
On Group Me.
Yeah.
But like an in-person formal, like
no, not
where you can
person.
like share recording space, share like, you see what I'm saying? Like going like you said, think bigger.
Well, you had
Think
comedian Bam on your show recently. Did he talk to you about what he's doing?
Yes, he did mention that he's having he's in process now putting the studio together.
Yeah, and so I kind of feel from what I am interpreted from him is that he's going to try to create that opportunity for space at minimum. Recording space, access. That to me, that's still only a part though. Like what I would like to do is I'd like to be in an association, in a group with podcasters such as yourself, where we all equally, mutually have shared interests. So if we all put money in, we all reap benefit.
Right, right.
But I think the barriers are the same barriers in that happening. It's the same barriers that we have in our community when it comes to doing business with each other anyway.
Yeah.
Like I ain't made $1 off podcasting, and I ain't impressed about it. But I have created opportunities for the people that I podcast with to make money because the people who are behind the camera do the real work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just create a conversation. So like I've created opportunities for them, but like I am really in.
Shout out B Watt, Photo Watt, in the background behind that camera, baby.
Yeah. So like you're right. I'm not familiar with that at all. But we're in the infant stages. So I mean, for real, we can create it ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because respect to you guys, man. Like I didn't check the show. I got a little joke too though. I checked the show though. Right?
Yeah.
I got a joke though. You ready?
What's good?
Y'all show is dope. Y'all show is dope. Like it really is. But y'all don't follow nobody, man.
Well, no, we're like the white person in the strip club. We're the white guy in the strip club. We're the white guy in the strip club. You got to earn our followers. We followed you.
No,
Yes,
you don't
we
follow
did.
me.
Yes, we did.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
People follow
I'm
that.
back there. All right.
Yeah, when you
gonna
come on the
follow- that don't
show,
count,
once you
bro.
come on the show,
That don't count, bro.
Once you come on the show, I click the follow button.
So let me see what. But real talk. This is really valuable content right here. I mean, the reason why I'm saying that is because I learned something, man.
Yeah.
See, I'm assuming that we are all from the same generation. Maybe not.
No.
We're from a generation of where like cameras and stuff. Like we ain't really chopping our life out like that in public. This is a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm from a private space. Like I got a personal page. You never see me post my child and my wife on my podcast page. I just don't mix those, right?
Yeah.
So I say all that to say what I've learned, and I say this to you all because this is something I've learned, and to each his own. Like,
Yeah.
I'll let people. I don't follow everybody.
Right.
No, because if you ain't adding value, I can't follow you, right?
Exactly.
Right.
But I've learned that in order to earn a follower, sometimes you got to give a follow, and through that process, you will grow faster because you'll be able to expose yourself to more people who you may want to follow. So like sometimes I follow and unfollow people. Like I follow you to see if it's worth following you.
And then if it's not,
But if I see a person being like bougie and tight about their following,
Sorry, I didn't.
oh, see,
sorry,
a certain way about
like,
it.
if you're not following, I do play it. Like I evaluate my social media like on a weekly to monthly basis. Like what you creating, what you putting out is key. If you follow me and you give me good energy, I follow you back. I may never know you, but then I'll realize I'll be at the grocery store or whatever, and they'll be like, yo, I saw your podcast. I got a fan, I don't even know it. My friends don't even watch my podcast.
Right, yeah, man.
My wife don't even watch my
I don't even
podcast.
want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about
So I'm just saying, like, there's some gain from that, man.
Yeah.
There's some gain from it, but I watch. Y'all got some professional stature, which is clean.
Okay.
Y'all stuff's clean. I say that in all due respect. Like I mean that genuinely. I wouldn't just say it to shoot your ego. Y'all got the cleanest thing out that I saw. That's why when you called me, I was like, yeah, I want to be on this show.
Hold on. Stop the podcast. We got to give Will his due. Because the clean comes from this guy.
It's
Everything
clean,
got to
bro.
be perfect. Go for the shots.
It's
My
clean.
guy B. Watt in the back. They make sure it happens.
It's real
Got to
cool.
give him the credit where credit's due. Because him and I go back and forth a lot. You know me, I'm like, yo, we got to do content. Will's like, no, we got to make sure it's right before it goes out.
Because I know what your professional background is, though, I ain't surprised on your part on behalf that it's clean. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing and listening. So, like, I really shout y'all out for that. And I mean that genuinely. And I hope y'all cut that up because, like, y'all's thing is nice. Like, who wouldn't want to come on your show? Y'all got dope guests. And you putting your focus on quality versus quantity. That's why when you called me, I was like, of course.
Yeah.
I saw you in years. Let's
Right,
get it, man.
Right.
Yes.
Hooping that AM fam.
Yes. We was hooping back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, I was about 15 pounds lighter. I could go, Shan. Don't aim.
He was a
But no, he was a
shooter.
hooper. He was a hooper in college.
Yo,
Randy,
but he was a shooter for sure. Though.
thank you.
Like,
Did y'all hear that? I was a shooter and I still am.
Like-
you never forget how to shoot.
yo, he was
I was
like
a sniper.
Dennis Scott, Nick Anderson. Like he was gold money for that three, man.
I couldn't dribble, but I could shoot that ball.
He didn't have to dribble. He shooting from wherever he got it.
Wherever I caught it, it was going. Yeah,
We had
shots
good
going up.
times, man.
Yes, sir. No, man. So, moving on. I mean, speaking of basketball, like since we on basketball yesterday, LeBron and the Lakers.
I'm a Laker fan.
Shan a Laker fan too, so we got two Laker
All
fans.
right,
Okay?
there we go.
Yeah. So Lakers. This was a big weekend for
Hey,
them.
can I get on one more?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rio. We can get some more of them
That's
Lakers.
that, brother.
Yeah. Just
Appreciate
bring
it.
that on over, B.
Yeah.
No, but Lakers Bucks on Friday. Lakers Clippers yesterday.
Woo!
LeBron James
Thank you,
reminded
bro.
everybody that he is still the best player on the planet.
He is.
Without a doubt.
He is.
And, I'm a huge LeBron James fan. Number one for me is Mike. Mike's
Yeah.
number one. LeBron's number two for me. I got Kobe at 3. We're not going to get into a debate about any of that.
Yeah.
We're just talking about today. Like this weekend for LeBron.
Thank you, bro.
I've heard all the, it's a lot of talk this year about LeBron's minutes, his age. He got hurt last year, so everybody's expecting him to get hurt at some point this year. It hasn't happened yet. And he's been balling. And everybody this year wants to go ahead and crown Giannis and give him the MVP trophy. If I had a vote in it, right now LeBron James would be the MVP.
I
For the
agree.
simple fact that if you can see it in the game, when he comes off the floor, the Lakers are a totally different team.
Yes.
They can't even function on offense hardly, when LeBron is out there. And that's with Anthony Davis on the floor. Without LeBron. That offense does not function without him. So the fact that he's 35 years old, and not only 35 years old, he's picked up a new position this year playing point guard, leading the league in assists in year 17. Come on, man. Like, dog, he's my MVP right now.
He is the MVP.
I got the Lakers winning the chip. I certainly want LeBron to be the first one to get that championship with 3 different teams.
Yes.
Because if Kawhi does it this year with the Clippers, he'll be the first. And I don't want him to get that one up on LeBron.
He
Not
is
New
the
Balance.
man.
Can't rock with New Balance.
I just think this season they have to win the championship. That's just my thing with the Lakers. They have to do
They
it.
earn it.
Yeah.
Them guys were.
Do it for even like with Kobe's death.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
feel like
That's
it
driving.
would be great.
Yeah.
That's driving.
I think LeBron's the best The reason why I think LeBron's the best player in the league is because of the impact he has on the game.
Every facet.
From assists, rebounds, and scoring. Like, he could score more points. Everything could be more, but he also has to get enough rest. So, like, I feel like they're doing a really good job at managing all that out.
Yeah.
I'm a Laker fan, and I mean to the core. I can tell you every Laker ever. You want to challenge me? I go all the way back from Magic forward. I can.
Okay.
Larry Drew and all the guards, and like I grew up as a big Laker fan. I love LeBron because he's a Laker now. I've always respected him, but like, I think that people are getting tired of giving LeBron his credit and being. I feel like he's been doing it for so long. Yeah. Y'all want to now find a reason to say it's someone else. No, it's still him.
I'm glad you said that. Can I go in now?
Please.
I'm glad you said that because what I have seen, and this pisses me off to no end, people actually get tired of seeing greatness.
Yes.
I don't understand that. Like when you're actually seeing it happened to Kobe. Yeah. It happened to Mike. Like, people get tired of seeing great, and I don't understand that. I'm like, you're witnessing greatness right before your eyes. You're in the moment. LeBron's going to be retired in about 2-3 years, and you're not going to see another player like him. Nope. And then you're going to be like, at that point, everybody's going to be, oh, LeBron was so great, blah, 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 blah. But while we're in the moment, they're like tired of it. Like you said, like the MVP voting is fatigue because it's LeBron James. Yeah. Oh, he's been the best player now for 15 years. Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, it's greatness. Yeah. In football, Tom Brady, everybody now is tired of Tom. I don't like the Patriots, but I respect greatness. Right. That is the greatest quarterback.
Is he still the greatest?
He is the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. Before him, I had Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Who would know? He's a 49er fan. I had Joe Montana. When Brady got that 6th Super Bowl, it's no denying it.
Yeah.
There's no denying the body of work. They have won 12 games, at least 12 games, in 13 or 14 seasons. That is ridiculous. No team has ever done that.
All right, go back.
And they've been in the playoffs 17 straight years.
Why did you put LeBron over Kobe then?
Why did I put LeBron over Kobe? Because of what you said. Impacting the game all the way around. So for me, number one, I got Mike number one because that's who I grew up with. Mm-hmm. And Mike I have an emotional connection with Michael Jordan. Yeah. His sneakers, what he did with Space Jam, what he did, just on the court, the winning,
He's a killer.
All of that. I was never a Bulls fan, but I was a Mike fan.
Yeah.
And then, coming around, we had this conversation a few podcasts back. And I mentioned it then. I didn't like Kobe when he first came out. And I respected his game, but I didn't like him as a player because I felt like he was copying Mike. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want anybody to copy Mike. I'm like, dog, that's Michael Jordan, man. Let the GOAT be. You can't copy him and try to emulate him. Yeah. Now, over time, Kobe's game I respect. Yeah. And, by the time he had won his 4th and 5th championship, by himself, when he had the squad with Pau Gasol and those cats. Yeah. That's when I really, respected him. Because he went and did it without Shaq and, proved everybody wrong. Yeah. That's when I respected Kobe. But I've been following LeBron since he was a sophomore in high school on the cover of Sports Illustrated at St. Vincent St. Mary's and to now. Yeah. So I've been rocking with LeBron for 20 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron, that's my guy. Yeah. And just what you said, his impact across the whole game. If he wanted, he could lead the league in scoring every year. If he wanted, he could have led the league in assists every year. Mm-hmm. If he wanted, he could probably lead the league in rebounding if he wanted to. Every year. There is no other player that you can say that about in the NBA.
I feel like he has been a point guard every year, too.
Yeah,
this year they just gave him the title.
Right,
but he's always controlled.
Exactly.
He controlled the floor. That's
exactly. And there's no other player.
I feel like being in LA, he plays more like Magic now than ever because he be doing some Showtime stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is, last year, people try to say, well, Kawhi got the jump. I'm like, nah, dog. Kawhi is just a scorer. Don't get me wrong. I mean, his mid-range game is lethal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yesterday was a perfect dichotomy with their two styles. LeBron finished the game with 28, 9, and 7. Kawhi had 27 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, no assist. Mm-hmm. He finished people are telling me Kawhi Leonard is the best in the game. He finished with 27 points, 1 rebound the whole game. He played more minutes than LeBron and 0 assists. Come on, now. You can't, I feel like I'm Shannon Sharp right now. I'm going to bat for LeBron.
Yeah, I can't argue.
Yeah. GOAT man. Dog, it's not a debate.
Yeah, I can't argue it.
Yeah. So Lakers, so is the whole table rolling with the Lakers to win the chip? Everybody?
I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan, but I don't know that it's going to be, I think it's going to be challenging in the finals. I think it goes 7 games.
With who you got to play?
I think they
Or
got
they meet in the Western Conference
in
Finals.
the Western Conference Finals. I guess we go 7 games, and then I think if we match up with the Bucks, we got it for sure.
Yeah.
But I do think that we won yesterday. We had to win. We needed to win.
Mm-hmm. Had to send a message.
And both teams had their top 10 players.
Yeah. This game, the Clippers were fully healthy.
Mm-hmm. And we were, and the Lakers were too.
Yeah.
And didn't have Deion Waiters in the game.
Right.
So, but I do think it's going to be.
It's going to be a
game.
battle. Yeah.
Because I think, health is going to be a factor. And Patrick Beverly is a major factor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, technical fouls and.
I hate that dude.
I hate Patrick Beverly.
I hate that dude.
I hate him, but I respect him.
He grind
Hey.
though. He grind though.
I'm enjoying watching New Orleans though.
Oh, the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they
exciting.
look good.
They're exciting, man. But
I can swing over there on them.
But no,
like, I'm enjoying them.
You're fine. But no, you mentioned the Bucks. I don't actually think they're coming out the East.
What?
I don't think the Bucks coming out the
Who
East.
is then?
Who?
No, I don't.
Not
No,
Philly?
so I'm not picking the team to come. I don't know who's coming out the East, but I know who the Bucks will not beat in a series.
Miami.
If they had to match up with the Raptors or the Heat, did not win.
No.
Bank it. Stevie J is making a proclamation right now on March 9th.
Watch some games.
If the Bucks match up with the Raptors or the Heat in the playoffs, they will be going home early.
How long
You
you
will
been
see
doing this?
Giannis leaving Milwaukee.
Right.
Hey, hey,
I'm gonna have to go
I
back
put
and watch
myself
some
out there. I
games.
have no problem putting my neck on the line. Come April, May, we're gonna see the Bucks go home early if they match up with the Raptors or the Heat.
Who you got coming
Book
out
it.
the East?
You make sure you cut that, all right? You got to cut that. Y'all got to do some B-roll clips on that one.
Yeah. We'll put that out.
Who
We'll
other
put
come
that
out
out.
the East?
I don't know. That's what
The
I don't
Bucks
have
or
a
the
team
Clippers?
coming out the East.
I mean, excuse me, the Bucks or the Celtics.
Celtics.
I mean, I think it's amazing what Jimmy Butler's done in Miami, but I don't see them getting there. And who else? I don't see how it could. Who else could go?
Stop sleeping on the Raptors.
don't
Stop
think-
sleeping
I don't
on the
think they-
Raptors.
I don't
The
think they
Raptors
will.
just won a chip last year. They got everybody back except for Kawhi.
And he was a
amazing.
big piece.
I know he was a big
It's
piece, but
amazing.
think about what they did without him last year.
Listen,
They had a winning record without him.
the sun is still shining
Like-
on their ass. It's just a benefit. Like I can't believe they as good as they are.
Now, I'm not saying the Raptors going to win the title again,
Get to
but
the
the
finals,
Eastern
though?
Conference,
Because
come on,
they-
the Eastern Conference is not that
I don't
tough.
think it can be the
The
Celtics.
Eastern Conference is not that tough.
I don't think it can be the Celtics.
Bro.
They're going to have home court over the Celtics.
Jason Tatum and
They
right
will
now,
have home court over the Celtics.
Jason Tatum's a dog right now.
Okay, well, Toronto
And they
will have
got
home
three.
court
They
over
got
the
three
Celtics.
players that's averaging 20. Him, the point guard. What's his name?
Oh,
From
Kemba
Charlotte.
Walker.
Kemba
Kemba
Walker,
Walker,
and the other guy,
What, Jalen Brown? Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
They all averaging 20.
Okay.
But I think Tatum is on the. I see.
I respect that. I respect that. I don't have nothing against the Celtics. What I'm saying is that I don't have the Bucks coming out the East.
Let's make a
As
little.
far
Let's
as who's
make a
coming
little.
out-
Let's make a little bet.
On what?
A small bet.
Well, we're going to bet. So we got to bet on a matchup, right? Because I'm talking about the Bucks not getting out the East if they play the Raptors or the Heat.
I'm betting on the Celtics being in the
Come
Eastern
out of the
Conference.
East?
They're gonna be in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. The
Oh, I'll
Celtics
give
will.
you that. I can't bet that. I'll give you that. I agree.
But you
with
think
that.
if the
If the Bucks in the second round match up with either the Heat or the Raptors, they're going home early.
No.
They're going home early.
No.
If they match up with the Heat or the Raptors in the second round,
She's the
they
second
are
person
going
I've heard
home
say
early.
that. I had this argument.
Because dog,
yesterday.
like the Bucks are everybody. The Bucks are a great team. Don't get me wrong. When they're firing, they're hitting from three, which they were actually off a little bit on Friday night when they played the Lakers. But when they're hitting from three, they're the closest thing we've seen to like. I'm not even gonna. Never mind. Scratch that. They're a good team, but if you got a player on your team that can lock up Giannis, and you can't shut him down, but if you can lock up on Giannis Antetokounmpo, I said that right, you got a chance to beat them. And the Heat have a player who's proven that he can do that twice now this season. Bam Adebayo, who's an all-star this year.
he's sweet.
He has locked Giannis up twice,
Yeah.
and they beat the Bucks twice. And then also the Raptors got the blueprint for handling the Bucks from last year. They ran that same blueprint against the Bucks. They kept Giannis out of the lane. They packed the lane with bodies. He couldn't get in the lane. If you keep Giannis out on the perimeter, he'll hit a few buckets
Yeah, he
every
can
game,
shoot.
but he's not going to be as
He's
dominant
almost
as what he
better
can
shooter
when he
now,
gets to the hole at will.
I get mad with the Bucks because I feel like Dunn. Is it Dunn? Chris? Is it what's the second All-Star they got?
Oh, Chris Middleton,
Chris Middleton and the point guard that used to be a Clipper when he Kentucky.
George Hill.
Not him.
No, not George Hill.
Another
Oh man,
They don't always show
Eric
up.
Bledsoe.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe. They just don't always show up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is their downfall.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
They get a quiet 20.
Well, that's what I'm
15,
saying.
they don't.
But think about it. In big moments, Chris Middleton was absent Friday.
Yeah.
In the big games, he does not show up. So and then he hasn't done it yet. Last year in the playoffs,
Yeah.
against the Raptors, Chris Middleton didn't show up.
Yeah.
Like, so you're expecting him this year to show up? Like, Giannis isn't going to beat a team by himself. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. He's not LeBron James. He's not going to beat them like LeBron took the Pistons down by himself with that Cleveland team. He is not LeBron. He took down that Celtics team by himself with that Cleveland squad. Giannis is not LeBron James.
Okay, because Giannis doesn't create offense for other players like LeBron.
Exactly.
But as he ain't even 25. He's 25 at most.
He's gonna get there.
He's gonna get there because when he gets there, he may not get all the way there. He may never be like LeBron as a.
He's not gonna be LeBron as a distributor. No.
But everything else, he is bigger, stronger.
Can't
argue that. It's amazing to think about what his peak.
What the ceiling is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And think about it. I look about this. He don't have a KD jumper yet, and he got everything else that KD got.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 7 foot tall, and KD like probably 6'11".
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he still got room to grow too. So we'll see. No bets today.
No bets.
but mark my words. I put it on the camera too. We're gonna post it. We're gonna make this clip, and it's gonna live forever. Shane, hold me to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks, they match up with the Raptors. Hey. We're not talking about the Cowboys right now. Don't worry, my time's coming back with the Cowboys soon.
No, we're not talking about the Cowboys.
If the Bucks have to match up with the Raptors or the Heat in the second round of the NBA playoffs, they are going home early. You heard it from Stevie J.
Hey, when y'all cut this out, get Charles Barkley's comment too. Put up the body time.
Yeah.
Both of them already. They both the same. Well, this is for you. So,
what else we got, man?
Coronavirus.
oh,
Y'all want to talk about coronavirus? So wait, can I get it? So coronavirus. To this date, there still has not been one black person diagnosed with coronavirus on the planet.
Yeah.
That's
Not in the U.S., on the planet. It is facts. So, Randy, I don't know if you saw, like about a week ago, I put a post up on my Instagram story that was jokingly, talking about coronavirus in Africa and like African skin being resistant to coronavirus. But it was a joke.
yeah.
But to date, there have not been any black people diagnosed with coronavirus, so I don't know if it's a joke.
Yeah.
Right now, there are 3 cases of coronavirus in Africa. One of the cases is a German guy who traveled there. So again, folks from other countries bringing disease into Africa. We've heard that story before. But then the other 2 cases are of Italian descent. So not an actual, African descent, person of African descent.
Right.
And in the U.S., we haven't seen a black person get diagnosed with coronavirus. And the funniest thing with coronavirus, yes, it's flu-like, and they say that the symptoms with it are a little bit stronger than the regular flu. I get that. But the key to coronavirus is if you're not over the age of 60, so everybody that's died from coronavirus have been over the age of 60 everywhere.
No,
and they've
so
had
somebody that was 90. It was somebody who was 90. I read she was the only survivor over 60 who survived.
Yeah. But everybody who's died has been over the age of 60, and they've had underlying health issues. So, my thing about how it's this whole frenzy right now and just everybody's going crazy about it, I'm like, relax. Like, if you're healthy and you're under the age of 60,
Right.
okay,
Like
we might get coronavirus. But you know where coronavirus not going to end up at? In the hood. You never see flu epidemics in the hood. Like you'll never see the coronavirus in any hood in the United States of America. Because we wash our hands.
If the government want to take us out, they're going to put the
that's what
coronavirus and some Jordans or some designer shoes. We all hit. We all. But a funny story though. So I went to church. I went to this new church. Well, not new to me, but I went to my dad's church. So before the service, they kind of like educated everyone on the coronavirus. Don't shake people's hands. What they're doing now is they're doing like feet taps, or they're not even doing like fist
pounds.
Yeah. So it was just so awkward. They just educated for a good 20 minutes the whole service on the coronavirus. So when it was over, of course my stepmom, she wanted to introduce me to everybody. So when she introduced me, I'm like, do I pound them up? Do I just, and people reaching out to shake my hand. I'm like, what do I do? It was just so awkward. Like some people would shake my hand and some people would be like, hey. It was just so awkward.
Randy, are you scared to travel with coronavirus? How you feeling?
I had a trip in New York scheduled, and I just got the message today that it's been canceled. There was an event. Honestly, I feel like the coronavirus is causing America to reevaluate the standard of communication. Like eye contact is important to us, right? Shaking hands, I work in mental health, man. Like I ain't. Like we already doing this anyway. We was doing that anyway.
Right.
Now, shoot, we're on the elbow.
Yeah.
Our feet.
I mean, we had a family function last weekend, and I was just like, look, if I come around, I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous, man. I don't want to play around with the possible. I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm wiping stuff off before I use it and after. I usually just wipe it off after.
Right. Hop right up there and start using it and go.
Yeah. So I'm nervous. Like it's stressful because my mama just didn't watch TV all the time.
Yeah.
So she just sends me every link. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just make everyday life just awkward. Just for example, if you go into a networking or a social event, like you're going to meet people. You know they're going to want to shake your hand. It just make the situation awkward because someone to reach out to shake your hand and you're like,
I'm gonna tell them that. I'm already telling them. I hate to fall into this category, but I'm falling into it. Like, look, let's not make it awkward. Let's take it for what it is. Like maybe we should reevaluate who. Like I'll give you an example. I'm big on massages. It probably sounds racist as shit. I ain't going to no massage parlor right now.
Yeah.
Because my anxiety is too high to think about how many people's hands they touch.
Right.
And so like, I'm just saying, maybe we need to, it's everything that happens for a reason. And maybe we need to, as people, reevaluate, how we encounter touching.
But everyone's not going to have that same mentality.
And if they don't, then they learn. They will learn when they come into encounter with you.
Right.
Or when they come with me.
But I'm just saying, it's going to get exhausting where you got to keep explaining, hey, bro, I want to shake your hand, but with everything going on, you don't want to keep explaining that.
It's already happening, man.
Shane, how you feel? Because you work in a field where you come in contact with a lot of people.
Yeah, so either
directly.
I'm out with a lot of people, and I'm like, damn, when I get there, I'll be like, what the fuck?
So are you shaking people's hands? I mean,
no,
what are you doing?
Not really.
Are
to
you
be
giving
honest,
hugs? No, you giving hugs.
Yeah,
you giving hugs.
I be slipping.
Do you wear gloves at work?
No, how can
Do
I?
you want to start wearing gloves with coronavirus?
I wouldn't be able to perform my work like how I should because I have on gloves.
Well, again, no black people have been infected yet, right? So majority of your clients are African American.
So you mean to tell me someone tried to give you a hug before and you told them no, and then you explained why?
I just pretty much hugged them, and after it's like an afterthought. I'd be like, damn, the corona.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's like I'm already there, girl. So what do? You don't jump back and be like, girl, my bad.
Corona.
Yeah, it's awkward. It just makes society awkward.
And it's very overwhelming. It's overwhelming because you just think about it constantly. Now, with certain things, when you go to the grocery store, we wipe off baskets and stuff. But now it's like we wiping off our car door.
Everything.
You wiping down everything. Your shoes, your shirts. You'll be out just wiping down. And it's like, damn, do we live in a bubble now? Like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
But y'all lying though, man. Y'all not. There's no way you're telling people, hey, bro, I can't shake your hand because of the coronavirus.
Right.
No.
You do that 100% of the time.
Not every time I mess up. When I mess up, I recognize.
You immediately wash your hands.
I recognize it. I'm hand sanitizing after every machine. I'm saying it's not that I'm trying to be blatantly disrespectful.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't slip up. I mean, I'm gonna shake all y'all's hands. Y'all look good.
I wash my hands. Nobody's coughing. I know something's at the table.
I believe that God. Listen, I believe God sends us on a path, and nothing's determined. Yeah. We don't know what's gonna be, but my spirit feels good in here, right? Yeah. I'm saying if I'm in the gym and I just run across this guy, you do one of them numbers right now. Yeah. I'm gonna let him know, like, listen, bro, I'm very uncomfortable right now. Like, I mean, we need to change the narrative. And all I'm saying is that it's nothing wrong with reevaluating. Back in the day, my grandma used to say, "Baby, don't let no one rub a root on you. You don't let anyone put their hands on you. You don't let anyone pray for you. Mm-hmm. You don't ask for prayer for everybody. Some people pray you in that damn hell just as much." Seriously. So think about it. The company you keep, it's nothing. It's America's made it like it's appropriate to have good eye contact, good and shake hands.
Yeah.
Maybe it's changing.
That's gonna be super hard to change, though.
You know what I'm thinking? No, you keep saying like the black thing, and I get it, but like I was having this argument with my wife, and it's like my argument is that there are people who are of color and there are people who are not of color. That's just my argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though there ain't been any black people yet, like even in Asia, they got discrimination within their own culture. There's if you're Filipino, you're typically darker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's interesting that it hasn't been any black people, quote unquote, yet. But then within Asian culture, you have to ask yourself, like, have they been on the lighter side or they've been on the darker side? So it doesn't mean that we escape it from it because melanin is in all culture, you know?
Well, until the first black person diagnosed, I'm immune.
But you know what the cure is, though? Why are those black folks getting it?
What's that?
Ginger ale.
And I do drink ginger ale weekly.
You drink ginger ale for anything, bro.
Chicken noodle soup.
Ginger ale, chicken noodle soup, baby. We
You
good to
get
go.
shot, you drinking ginger ale.
Right. You good, man.
Oh, man.
Well, no, so it's funny because you mentioned about the change that this could potentially make to the way people approach things. I got a quote from Damon John. Y'all know Damon John, the dude from Shark Tank, founder of Food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he made a quote that I found interesting. He said, "How can we make the best of a bad situation, the best of a bad situation actually benefit from it?" And he said at first it seems like hearsay talking about the upside of the coronavirus, but he had a couple of compelling points. So his first point was thinking about how the economy can benefit from more domestic manufacturing and how people will save time commuting if they end up working from home. How people might eat healthier at home than if they were going out to restaurants every night. You know, and then one other thing, you know, he was just saying is just, you know, as far as the healthcare industry in general, if everybody's at home, he made a joke, but get ready for, you know, for the maternity wards in 9 months to be full of people. Right. But no, I mean, think about it. There might be some benefits to the economy from this, you know, as far as more people work from home, more domestic manufacturing. People may be ending up eating healthier because they're already eating at home in front of the grocery store versus eating in front of restaurants.
You got DoorDash, Grubhub. That don't mean nothing, bro.
But
Yeah,
still,
so
you
you'd
gotta think
already
about
killed
that.
it.
But
Oh,
that's
man.
still.
I don't So if coronavirus is that perfect, I don't want nobody delivering my food.
Right.
But I'm saying a lot of people, they don't cook. They just use those
Okay,
delivery
what I'm
services.
saying in coronavirus, you want somebody delivering your food with coronavirus running around? You don't
I mean,
know
to be
what their
honest,
hands
I
touch.
mean-
Like who? What? Like what?
I mean, the delivery charge too high for me. I'd rather go to the store.
You know what though? Like they got everyone got to change. You got to deliver with gloves now. I mean, you got to pick up food with mask on.
Yeah.
But the whole mask thing is like, my wife told me she a doctor, not this type of doctor, but she know everything. So it's like wearing a mask is only protecting you
Right.
from breathing. A lot of people walk around in these masks and they feel like that's protecting them from catching it. That's not
That
the
don't do
case.
nothing,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
You're protecting yourself from exposing other people to your illness when you wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they
So-
say that actually the coronavirus, the virus is small enough to where even these like S90 masks or P90 masks that, not P90X, but P90 masks that are supposed to be like the top mask, it can slip through there too. So to your point, like you're protecting yourself from, you know, from other people contracting whatever you might have, but all the stuff that's still floating around in the air, coronavirus can actually get through that. You know, that's the thing. Most people walking around don't even have P90 masks. People out here with off-white
I mean,
masks on.
to be honest, there's no way around it because
It ain't.
I've heard that, you know, the virus is actually on money now. So even if it's on money, people go to the grocery store all the time, bro.
Yeah.
People touch
We use
food
money.
and put it back all the time. You could pick up that same food and bring it home to your house, and then everybody got the coronavirus.
I think the root of the story is that we don't know how we're gonna die.
No,
But we're gonna die.
Honestly,
The Lord,
We
we
don't
don't know
know.
about coronavirus.
That's
then.
it. That's,
We don't know,
that's how it's
man.
written.
That's why
Scared.
the
But no,
parents
it's,
say stock
but
with
look at
ginger
it like
ale.
the flu. Right, for real. But no, look at it like the flu.
I'm gonna walk away
the
to positive. That's a positive way to walk away from this conversation.
No, look at it like the flu. The flu is around every single year.
Every year.
I don't know the last time I've had the flu. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people
You know,
not dying from the flu though. Some people do.
Hold
Some
on.
people
Whoa. Shut up, dog. 30,000 people die from the flu every year. You
Well, how
saying
many
nobody
people?
died from the 30,000 people?
Right, but not as much people as the coronavirus though.
Dog, it's only been like 800
Well,
something
how many
deaths.
times you done had the flu?
What did I just say?
How many times have
Are you
had the
listening to
flu?
what I just
I'm
said?
listening. How
I just said I cannot remember the last time I had the flu. That was
You
my
didn't die?
point. That was my point.
But then you died though.
See what he jumped in on? He jumped in loud, strong, wrong, like my grandma would say. I just made the point that I have not had the flu. I can't remember the last time I had the flu. That is my point. Everybody's not going to get infected by the coronavirus.
Right.
Just like the flu is around every single year and everybody does not get infected by the flu. Now, the flu does kill 30,000 people on average in this country every single year. That's not a small number. You're just asking who dies from the flu. 30,000 people die from the flu every year. And there's going to be people that die from coronavirus. But it's not going to be the bulk of the population is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's always a crapshoot. I mean, you got people out here dying from diabetes every single day. You got people dying from AIDS still, and we know the risk involved with AIDS, and you got people still out here having unprotected sex. Yeah. So, I mean, come on. It's like all this stuff is out there. Coronavirus is now another thing that goes with H1N1, the bird flu, the Ebola. All this stuff is still out here everywhere.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
What's scary to me is that the last time I got the flu is when I got the flu vaccine. So I stopped getting the flu vaccine because every time I got the flu vaccine, I got sick.
See, I get the flu vaccine. I haven't had it.
You get it every year and you never had it?
I get it every year.
That's crazy. Like, I haven't had it since we was playing ball. And I remember when I got it, I was more sick than ever been in my life, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I stopped getting it, and I've been good since. So I always say, like, I'm allergic to the flu vaccine because I get sick when I get it. Now, if the coronavirus comes out and my body, if they got a vaccine for that and my body responds the same way, right? I'm scared to get the vaccine because every time I got, the flu vaccine, I got sick. So it's like,
yeah.
You're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
you don't get any vaccines?
Mm-mm.
And have you had the flu recently?
Nope. How much
Maybe
ginger ale
like
you
2
drink?
That's like my favorite soda.
See, that's why.
What about you? You had the flu anytime recently?
It's probably been about maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, you recent, man.
Hey,
Randy, slide over.
Hey.
Slide over, Randy.
That means you're more prone to the corona.
More susceptible to coronavirus. That ginger ale will keep you safe. Well, no, Randy. Last question I had for you,
yes,
I know Shannon Will might have some, but the last question I have for you, I just want to ask you about, with your podcast, where it is right now, the Randy Wilson podcast, your brand and everything. Mm-hmm. Where do you see your brand in the next year, the next 2 years? Like, what? You don't have to give us your whole plan. But, what's your plan to continue? What's your plan to build your brand over the next year?
That's a good question, man. I wish I had as good of an answer for the question. The one thing I will say that is a definite is that people say Randy, so what's your goal? What's your end goal? I hate that question.
That is,
I gotta have an end goal. Yeah. I don't want to have an end goal. You know what I'm saying? My ultimate goal, let's say over the next year, my goal is that through podcasts, I feel like there's a lot of, I tell people all the time, it's a lot of crumbs in the loaf of bread. People think it's about slicing the loaf. Every connection, every relationship creates and develops opportunity. And my goal and hope is that through the podcasts, over time, that it will create and open the relationships that I need that will develop happiness, opportunity, and as long as I'm giving, I feel like God, in return, I'm going to reap it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't have a lot. I don't know. I'm not really overly defined what my goals are. What I can tell you is I've had a lot of people present to me opportunities that I've not, joined our internet radio show. And I ain't jumped on any of that. Because I feel like if people are now going to try to get me to jump on the show, then in a year from now, I need to reevaluate and see. But I will tell you this, as podcasters, what I've learned is and I can tell you some of these off the air, but there's a lot of radio shows that would love to have you on their show. They want you to come on, and then they want you to, so let's say you give a station $100 a week. Y'all might need to consider this because of her. Because beauty salons and barbers, you can get a barber and you can go around and say, yo, give me $15 a week. I'm gonna promote you. Think about how many barbers and beauty salons you can get. So, you can do that. You can make your money back and some. So a radio show will take you on, AM, FM, local radio, internet radio, they'll take you on and say, hey, we'll air your show, pay us $100 a week for whatever time, and make your money off the profit. I've declined all those so far though, but those opportunities are there. CW Network as well. You pay $1.50, you might be on the 4 in the morning. So that's what you got to decide. That's what you got to decipher. Is it valuable to me? But maybe if I pay a little bit more, I'll be on it at 9 o'clock in the morning. But if you got a lot of people like her, you good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that industry is critical in supporting because it's natural marketing.
Right.
Hand.
Word of mouth. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. You know, some of my friends around me that's working close with me on the podcast, they're entitled to be a little bit critical on me on behalf of not having like my vision and everything like perfect. I respect it. But I didn't get into this to make money completely. I got in this to have an impact, make a difference for myself. I'm having fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe in everything up to this point in my life has been like, if you do good, you reap good. So it's like, if I'm giving people a platform and an opportunity to speak, then I'll deal with what comes in return. Do I want to make some money? Of course I want to make some money.
We all want to make some money.
Of course. I'll take
360 deal.
I'll take a 360. But you know what? The fact that you always...
Y'all send us 360.
The fact that you asked me to be on your show is a reap of success for me. Real talk. Because it's like, it's just an example of the fact that people paying attention. Not only are people paying attention, people are paying attention that's not following.
Yep.
That's real.
Yeah.
People like, listen, we in this society.
Yeah.
We in this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, in all due respect, I made a joke of it, but in real time, it's a reality. Like, people watching you, but they not even liking. So when you talk about the artists in Virginia, people watching, they're just not giving you credit yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that to me is a sign of success.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow y'all back tonight too. Everyone individually and collectively, right?
So going forward, we will stop being the white guy at the strip club. Making people earn the follow. We'll go ahead and follow for more people.
Yeah, you like, look at you. Are you really?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make it rain for a little bit. Make it rain for about a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be strategic with it though. Not just let it rain, but put it this way: if there's people out there that you like, if there's people that are not following you, that you legitimately respect and you feel like their post could add value to you, I'd say do it. And the only reason why I say do it is because the millennials have showed us, in my opinion, the way.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah.
We are from a time where it's like my personal page, like only family and like really close friends, because it's like it's personal stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to build your professional brand, I would say I'm learning that, and it's been a challenge. Because I've had some weirdos in my box and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I ain't really.
Inbox be crucial.
In mental health, I've been comfortable as a public person that people may know me that I don't know. This has been different.
Yeah.
It is different. Like I don't. It's a little different.
Different level of exposure.
Yeah, it's a little different of exposure. Because like I say some things, you know, that maybe people don't like every now and then. I try to be neutral, but you never know. Like. In a world where like sexuality and gender and all these things, like you gotta be very, very careful. You could be walking around in the grocery store and all of a sudden someone be like, "Oh, you're the guy that made that."
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're on World Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this has been fun, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, I really,
I appreciate you, bro.
I seriously mean it. I'm not just trying to go it though. Like this has been real fun. It's like borderline drink champs without all the bottles, but it's been fun, man. I've really enjoyed myself. I've really enjoyed myself, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate it. We're gonna do it again too.
No, definitely. I'm gonna get you on my show.
Okay.
We ready, man. Let us know.
Yeah, and I mean it. Hold me to it too, like, cause I'm very like scatterbrained.
Yeah.
But I really want to do it because when you all come on my show, I want to big focus. I just want to talk about podcasts. Yeah. I really wanted to get with a group of podcasters to talk about the podcast. And the reason why I think that'd be valuable is because it's a specific niche of conversation. So when we put that out there, people who are looking for podcasts and stuff may see us, and then we merge in together. And we share it on both. If we share on both platforms, like if we do a show, I'm gonna share it because that will help us develop and grow together. So like, of course, I'm all for it, man. Indeed. I love that y'all have this team atmosphere too.
Yeah. Can we dap up though? Because I appreciate it. Okay. I mean, coronavirus.
Oh, I ain't.
Corona, man. I washed my hands before the podcast started. I'm clean.
I ain't dapping nobody.
That's what the hands. You got the hands out on the table.
You gotta drink some ginger ale.
Shan, what y'all got, man?
No, I'm good, man. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
Can you do anything for this?
I can give you a man weed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Randy, let her know, yo.
That's
Hey,
all
no,
I
some
got
of those
for you.
man weaves actually look good.
They do.
Get you
They
one.
You
do.
can't even tell. No, I'm actually thinking about doing one. No. So I want to do for because I'm thinking ahead. I'm planning ahead.
Okay.
40th birthday this year already set in stone. You know, going to Mexico, whatnot. But 45th birthday, I want to have a themed birthday.
Okay.
So, and I might do an 80s theme. And if I do an 80s theme birthday, then I'm gonna go ahead and do one of the man weaves because I want a high top fade.
Oh wow!
yeah.
But I don't want to wig. No, it's real though. Like you can, like they look real. Like all I gotta do is let my little hair on the side grow in. They can fade that out and blend it in with the weave. Like how women do.
I seen them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a full hairline and everything. Y'all ain't gonna be telling me nothing for about 3 days. I'm not washing my hair.
Yo, you really get it though.
Steve
Yeah,
Harvey.
no, yeah.
I'm gonna have a 3-day run.
Take you serious.
I'm having a 3-day run. Well, nah, man. So with that, you know, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, Randy, man. But we appreciate you being on again, Randy
Thank you, sir.
Wilson,
Thank
the
you, man.
Randy Wilson podcast. Again, this is the SMFH podcast. It's SMFH, not shaking my fucking head, but sports, music, fashion, and happiness. On behalf of Shan and Wood, who I will introduce properly on the next episode. Your host, Steve J. We out.